Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is the real Nathan Daley, and I'm your law enforcement translator here to provide some insight on these difficult topics and current event issues. Listen, I have a great topic for you guys. You probably haven't heard about this, but it's very interesting. It happened out in Idaho yesterday. Now, I am a little shocked. I'm surprised, you guys. Listen, before we get into that, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Love to have you a part of this channel. Before we dive into this interesting subject matter, we had 31 white men arrested in Idaho as they were on their way to a pride event. Apparently they are part of a nationalist party, a white nationalist group called the Patriot Front. And this is the first time I heard about them. For those who are not familiar, I will put some information up on the screen so we can go over it together. But I'm going to play a news clip regarding this incident. I think it's very interesting, you guys. Let's take a look at it, then we'll break it down. I'll give you my 2 cents. Let's look at this news clip. They talk about the incident. They're going to show you the 31 white men that were arrested. Looks like they were on their way to this pride event in Idaho, and they were able to stop them before they got there. This looks a little funny to me, but we're going to watch this clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts afterwards.
This happened this afternoon, just a few blocks from that Pride parade, a parade that drew hundreds of people to downtown Coeur. Law enforcement says they've been tracking this group and suspects that all the individuals detained showed ties to a white nationalist organization. Coeur d'Alene police praising the actions of a quick-thinking 911 call.
I don't think this would have been as successful had we not had one extremely astute citizen who saw something that was very concerning to them and reported it to us.
Saturday afternoon, that person reporting a, quote, little army loading into the back of a U-Haul. 10 minutes later, police make a traffic stop. This video shows the moment that truck's door slides open. 31 people arrested, all with suspected ties to the white nationalist group Patriot Front.
They had shields, shin guards, and other riot gear with them, including at least one smoke grenade.
The arrests happening just blocks from North Idaho's Pride celebration, an event that organizers say drew hundreds of supporters.
We have been through so much, so much harassment and attempts to intimidate, on the psychological level. And the truth is that if you allow yourself to be intimidated, you let them win. And what we have shown today is that you will not win. Love will win.
Police now working alongside federal law enforcement to process all 31 arrests. The men representing at least 10 states, including Washington and Idaho, and as far away as Texas, South Dakota, and Virginia, all held on conspiracy to riot, a misdemeanor charge and a jail stay. Police are confident may have stopped something far worse from happening.
All right, so let me pause it here because I want to address a couple things. First of all, who is the Patriot Front, right? This is something new to me. I'm not familiar with this group. I've never heard of them before. For those who are familiar with them or not, you guys, let me read to you who this group is, what they stand for. Let's kind of give us a better understanding. Now, listen, I had to pull some information off of Wikipedia because I couldn't find anything else outside of just regular news articles. But matter of fact, let's pull this up. Patriot Front, Southern Poverty Law Center. Who is Patriot Front, you guys? Patriot Front is an image-obsessed organization that rehabilitated the explicitly fascist agenda of Vanguard America. So initially what they're saying is Patriot Front is a spinoff from Vanguard America. I've never heard of Vanguard America, but let's continue reading. Patriot Front focuses on theatrical rhetoric and activism that can be easily distributed as propaganda for its chapters. I mean, it's an organization, right, of people who gather, who consider themselves to be like-minded, who they're white nationalists. So what is a white nationalist? If we look up white nationalists, for those who don't know, because even myself, I didn't really have a strong definition of white nationalists or white nationalism. I've always looked at them as they're pro-white, right? It's like white is right. That's our group. We want to just focus on us and not anybody else kind of thing. We don't want anybody else in our country or in our area, on our land or whatever. But per definition, let's look at what the definition is. Some people saying they mirror white supremacist talking points or they share the same ideology. Truth be told, they're not all one and the same, depending on who you talk to. So, according to the definition of white nationalists, is defined as one of a group of militant whites who espouse white supremacy and advocate enforced racial segregation. While, if we look at a white supremacist, while white supremacist is a person who believes that the white race is inherently superior to other races and that white people should have control over people of other races. So those are the distinct differences. White nationalists is like, we want a white nation of our own, and white supremacists is like, we want a white nation of our own because we're superior, I'm guessing. That's kind of the best way to distinguish between the two. And then there are white supremacists that are white nationalists and white nationalists that are not white supremacists. So I think one would argue, does it really matter? I mean, you know, words matter. So, but that's who they are. The Patriot Front is a spinoff from the Vanguard group, and they have a manifesto. This website that I'm on, it seems to have some very decent information. But according to Wikipedia, let's see what Wikipedia has to say. They label the Patriot Front as a white nationalist and neo-fascist hate group. Neo-fascist, from my understanding, after doing some recent research, is pretty much a form of, well, it is a dictatorship where the dictator is pro a particular race, and they're pro oppressing another race and uplifting their race over others, right? So that's that neo-fascist hate group. Part of a broader alt-right movement, the group split off from the neo-Nazi organization called Vanguard America. Now, in a nutshell, that's them. I'll link this into the description so you guys can read up on it on your own. But for the most part, this is who was arrested, right? So let's get back to the video. One of the things I noticed in the video I thought was interesting is kind of like a lot of the rhetoric that's on their clothing. What does it show us here? Reclaim America. Reclaim America from who? You know, what's the problem with these hate groups, you guys? A lot of them are delusional. They're delusional, and they push a lot of propaganda to simple-minded people who fall for whatever someone tells them. And unfortunately, instead of just getting along with the country and the people in it, they decide they want to isolate themselves. They want to segregate from people, and they truly believe that people who don't look like them are destroying the country, right? So, I mean, I get it. Everybody has their own opinion. But to put together a group and then go and terrorize other groups of people, I think is very childish and immature. And these are grown men, right? It's embarrassing, to be honest. And these people are, they're reproducing too, right? So that's a problem because they're spreading the same ignorant rhetoric around, which is why we cannot break racism in this country. It's being taught, it's being pushed, and, it's a sad reality. Reclaim America. I would love to... I would love to hear their thoughts, right? I would love to sit down with one of these guys and have a conversation. How do you reclaim something that you stole from somebody else, right? You yourself are an immigrant of this country. And so, to be honest, one could argue that you could go back to Europe, right? So, and, but at the end of the day, who am I, right? I'm just a guy. So, Reclaim America, I think this is a very interesting concept. Listen, what's the problem, though? What I see here in the group, this does not look like standard police procedure. These guys got into a U-Haul truck. 31 of them got into a small U-Haul truck, and they with shields and other stuff, and they're going to jump out and harass a bunch of people. It's too much free time, man. Too much free time. You know what's very interesting? This is not consistent with police procedure. How did this transpire? I would love to see some body camera footage, because the fact that nobody was unmasked this entire time is giving me real suspicious vibes, right? This looks very orchestrated, just to say the least. They should have been a mask. I'm going to tell you how I would have handled it, how a normal police department would have handled it. Mask would have been coming off. at either before or after those handcuffs were put on. Probably after. I would have demasked every last one of them. The fact that they're still covered with glasses on and hats and all that, nah, this looks a little orchestrated. You know, I wonder what these guys' occupations are, right? So if anybody has any additional information on them, could this be a Fed op? Possibly. It's a strong possibility. Look at them. They're all well-built white males. They look, you know, some of them probably prior military. Shout out to the military. No disrespect to them. Some of them probably active or prior law enforcement. Hey, it is what it is. And some of them are probably just some, you know, some guys who have nothing to do, who are chucking wood all day in their backyard with axes and shooting rifles, right, in their backyard. And so it is what it is. It's easy to get these people together with this ideology that they all share. Very sad, but it also shows that there's still a sickness in this country that needs to be addressed. So, but if this was a real operation and they just so happen to have all these police officers available to do this random traffic stop on a random group of 31 guys hiding in a U-Haul truck because someone called 911 saying they saw a suspicious group of people enter a U-Haul truck. The fact that they were able to get all these officers together so quickly and have them posted up on their knees, zip tied, with photos taken, they're guarded and all that. This seems like a whole publicity stunt. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me finish playing this out because it just seems a little extra.
Of that 911 caller, they also say they've been working with the FBI and have been monitoring various group communications ahead of this weekend's Pride event.
Look at this. Look at this. They have the entire unit that's present. They're probably here for riot control. This is like a riot unit. They're probably nearby because they said they stopped them a block away. So, you know, that makes sense. That makes sense. I would have cuffed them all and threw their butts back in the U-Haul truck and took the U-Haul truck and dropped them off at the jail. All this parading around just seems a little extra.
In Seattle, Sebastian Robertson, King 5 News.
Anyways, you guys, what do you think? What do you think? The FBI should take over. They should be identified. I'm curious to know what you guys think. It's very unfortunate. Listen, no one is denying that racism still exists. You know, you guys, people are free to think and be who they want to be in this country. Apparently, you can be a unicorn today if you want, or a turtle, Ninja Turtle if you want tomorrow. That's the direction this country is going in. Listen, I don't make the rules. If you want to be a white supremacist, that's your personal business. As long as you don't put your hands on people, I could really care less what you think or who you think you are. So with that being said, what are you guys' thoughts? They got a misdemeanor charge for, I guess, inciting a riot or trying to incite a riot. It's misdemeanor. So they're all arrested. Hopefully the FBI, the feds do their job and actually monitor these people properly, get in their computers and do these things that they need to do to ensure that these guys don't leave and end up becoming mass shooters in black communities. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much. Let me get your thoughts. If you have not already, please subscribe, join the channel, check the content. And with that, have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday and have a blessed day.